Hey y'all, welcome to the Wednesday Word. We're back doing these short videos, little 5-minute videos every Wednesday, just kind of covering a different Bible story or topic and just kind of relating it to our lives today. So I figure we're starting new. We're starting with the summer. We're going to start back at the beginning of the Bible. So we're jumping into the creation narrative and kind of focusing on this phrase, it was good, or it is good, or it is good. This idea and why that's important for us to understand and why it's relevant for us today to understand that creation was good. So if you guys want to follow along kind of how this will work is I'll talk about the Bible verse, we'll read it together, and then we'll kind of unpack it for a few minutes, and I'll give you an encouragement to spend some time in God's Word outside of this on your own time. So, like I said, we're reading into this passage here, starting up at Genesis chapter 1, beginning at verse 1. We're going to read verses 1 through 5. First 5 verses of Genesis chapter 1. If you want to read along with me, I've got it pulled up over here, and I'd encourage you to read along. So, starting at verse 1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now the earth was formless and empty. Darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the waters. And God said, "Let there be light." And there was light. And God saw that light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. So like I said, we're going to kind of unpack what this term, it was good, or that the light was good in this case, and what that means for us. But first, we got to kind of start at the beginning. When God makes the heavens and the earth, he has no need for it. I mean, you see at the beginning, they're just kind of existing. God exists in whatever the waters are that it references at the beginning. And they just God is just existing in creation. There's no beginning to God. There's no beginning to what he does. It just is. And he's just existing. He has no need for creation, but he decides to make creation, I think, out of love. You see, God designs a creation that he can adore and that can adore him. And you see him reflected in a lot of what creation is, in the glory of, in this case, the light and the life that light brings, and all the things that God creates. So that kind of is the beginning point that you have to come from to really understand the creation narrative. Is that God does this out of love and out of care to make a creation that he can adore and that can adore him. So then we jump into the first thing that he does, the light. So the thing that he kind of sets up here is this system, and that is really what the creation narrative is always teaching us, is a system to live by. So at the very beginning, he sets up this light, dark period, this thing that we call day, the beginning in the morning, and there was day. So he kind of sets up this system with this light. And the first thing that I read here was, when I was reading this passage, is like, why does God start with light? I mean, this is super obvious, because you need to be able to see or whatever. But I was like, really, why does he start with light? And I think light brings life. I mean, you see this in all of in creation. Whenever you shine light on a plant, it grows and that kind of stuff. Light is necessary for our existence and for life to flourish. It brings warmth. It brings healing. It brings joy. I mean, light is so critical to life, and that's why God says here that light is good. It is this gift that he's giving creation, this gift of life. But at the same time, he also then makes darkness, because by separating the two, you inherently make darkness. But that darkness is not inherently bad. I think sometimes we kind of associate darkness with evil and that kind of stuff. And I think there is a correlation there in the sense that as sinful human beings, we tend to do the things that we do not want to be discovered doing in the dark, because it's easier to cover it up. It's harder to cover something up in the light. It's easier in the dark. So we see here this light-darkness paradigm, but the darkness is not inherently evil. It just has a different purpose than the light. We see here in this yet again, like I said, this system that God creates is this way to live your life, to work during the day, work during the light when God has given us this good thing, this good source of life, and then at dark, when it's dark outside, it's time to rest. This system that God creates. I mean, we'll talk about it more later, but the 6 days of creation, 7th day, he rests. This is kind of the life that God is kind of showing us how to live as people and the creation that he's giving us. So that's kind of the to bring this all together, this gift that God's giving us, this light to enjoy, and then the darkness to rest during. And that was evening, and that was morning, and that was the first day. So that is the first Wednesday word, kind of unpacking what this means. I'd encourage you, read the rest of the creation narrative, Genesis chapter 1 at least, and kind of unpack what that means for you. We'll have some other readings for the rest of the week, but that's kind of where we're going to get this thing kicked off. So, like I said, I encourage you to read Genesis chapter 1 and kind of unpack what that means for yourself, and we'll take a look at it more again next week. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye.